butchers! Help save the butchers!
Hi, this is Bob from HelpSaveTheButchers.com, and today I'm going to show you how to get a value out of a whole boneless pork loin. I have a whole boneless pork loin in front of me, and I'm going to show you how to slice it into several different items. We're going to cut some boneless center-cut pork chops out of it about an inch thick. I'm going to do some thin sliced pork cutlets that you can batter and fry. I'm also going to cut a boneless center-cut pork loin roast out of the center of it. And on this end here, I'm going to try to do something a little bit fancier for you that you can still do at home, and that's make a boneless center-cut stuffed pork roast. On the pork loin, there's two different ends. We have the loin end, which is a little bit leaner, and we have the rib end. It has a little bit more fat, and that's the reason I prefer it for the roast. That way there, the fat melts into the roast and keeps it nice and juicy for you. So we're going to take our loin, we're going to spread it out in front of us, keep it nice and even. On this end here, where the center cut chops are going to come from, we're going to make sure that the meat itself is flat. We don't want any piece of meat sticking out because that would make our chops uneven. We're going to take our steak knife. Now I have a little bit bigger one than you might have at home, but you don't need a big knife for this. You can even use a small knife because the loin is small and it'll work through it. We're going to take the loin, going to keep our hand flat up against the edge to keep it flat and keep the meat flat, and we're going to measure out approximately 1 inch. We're going to slice down real even and then pull back. Now this is not hard to do. You don't have to put a lot of effort into it. Let the knife do the work. Don't try to push the knife through. That's our first chop, and we're going to continue again. Trying to keep each chop even. Four. I'm going to feed a family of 6 with these chops. 5 and 6. Nice boneless center cut chops. Now for the cutlet, if you don't want to try this at home, please don't if you're not confident with a knife. But it is easy to do if you have a sharp knife. And what we're going to do is going to do about 1/4 inch and let the knife do the work. Push in, pull back. There's a nice pork cutlet. Push in, pull back. There's another. We're going to do that same family of 6. 4, 5, and 1 more. Now here's the easy part. Boneless center cut pork roast. Size-wise, we're going to take the piece that we have left. I'm going to split it to get 2 even roasts out of it. But this will probably give you about a 2.5 pound roast that you can feed a family of 3 to 4 with easily. Because it's all meat, there's no waste to it, as you can see it. Okay, there's our boneless center cut roast. Now, this part here, this is where we're going to do a boneless stuffed roast with. And we're going to take the pork loin, we're going to turn it upside down. Show the meat side up, nice lean piece of meat. And I'm going to use a smaller knife for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a flap, and I'm actually going to butterfly the meat. That way there, we'll be able to put our stuffing in the middle. And we're going to cut maybe about a 1/2 inch flap. And you can see I always have my fingers pointed up, but we're not going to go all the way through the meat. Nice even piece. Turn the meat around. Do it again in the opposite direction. Not going all the way through. There's our butterfly. Like this, ready to go. And we have our stuffing already made. We're going to take some stuffing, and we're going to spread it out in the middle of the roast. Try to get it to the ends. You don't want it falling out the ends, though. Okay. You don't need a lot of stuffing, just enough for flavor. And you can do a lot of other things. You can add cold cuts or cheese, spinach, many different ways. We're going to take the last flaps, and we're going to turn it back over on the meat in the middle. There's still going to leave a little bit of the stuffing exposed on this end, and we want that. So when we do it, it goes up there also. But we don't want the stuffing falling out, in large quantities anyway. And we're going to turn the pork loin upside down. That pork loin's ready to go. You could roast it like that, but I'm going to add a couple of strings just to keep it in place. We're going to do a butcher's knot here, which is simple. You hold the string over your hand, grab it with your fingers underneath, and make a loop, and just put the string through, and it becomes a slip knot. That'll hold in place for you. Don't pull it too tight. You don't want to take the stuffing out. We're going to make another loop and tie it off on the end. There we go. Do one more piece on the other end to keep that in. Slide it underneath. Fingers over, do a loop, put the end of the string through the loop, pull it down, and tighten it up. And do another slip, little loop, and tie it off. There we go. One whole boneless pork loin. We have 4 different cuts. Feed your family of 6. feed a family of 3 to 4, and this here would also feed a family of at least 3 to 4. So this is Bob from HelpSaveTheButchers.com, trying to remind you, shop your local butcher, buy fresh cut meat, just like your mom did. Thank you.